Dear students, good morning to all of you. Ashwini, Juhi, Pranati, Ayushi, all of you, good morning. So today we are going to revise the lesson Madam Rides the Bus. So first of all, let us revise the theme. Okay, and then we shall continue with the lesson at a glance. Okay, so today's lesson is Madam Rides the Bus. We are going to revise this lesson. Dear students, please stay connected because attendance link will be sent every day from now onwards. So you need to mark your attendance. Okay, so I shall send it maybe in the middle or might be in the end of the class, but attendance link will be available for only some time. Therefore, please do mark your attendance whenever I send you the link in the chat box. Okay, so dear students, let me begin. This lesson, Madam Rides the Bus. This lesson narrates the story of a precocious girl by the name of Vali, an 8-year-old girl. Okay, so this lesson narrates us the story of a 8-year-old girl called Vali. She nurses a secret desire to take a bus ride from her village to the town. Okay, so she has developed a wish in her mind in order to take a bus ride from her village to the nearest town. The lesson narrates the childhood dreams and fantasies and the realization of such dreams with commitment and patience. Right? The lesson narrates the childhood dreams and fantasies and the realization of such dream with commitment and patience. So dear students, we shall go through the lesson at a glance so that we are able to understand and revise the story once again, right? Okay, so you see here, Vali wishes to ride the bus that goes from her village to the town, right? So there is an 8-year-old girl in the story whose name is Vali. Okay, she wishes to ride the bus that goes from her village to the town because she has never had the experience of riding a bus before. Therefore, she has developed an interest as well as a wish in her mind in order to ride the bus, okay, that goes from her village to the town. She sees every day the bus that travels between her village and the nearest town, right? So she can see every day the bus that travels between her village and her nearest and the nearest town, but she is not able to ride the bus. Therefore, she started planning as to how to ride the bus to the nearest town. She looked wistfully at the people who got on and off the bus, right? So she always keeps looking very with curiosity at the people who got on and off the bus. Okay, because this bus starts from her village and goes to the nearest town. Okay, so as she is a small girl and she has never taken a ride in the bus before, therefore she has nursed a desire in her mind to ride the bus. Therefore, she is very much careful in her observation, how many people are getting down, how many people are getting into the bus to go to the nearest town. Okay, now you see, people inspire her the hope and wish to take a ride herself one day. So as many people keep going to the nearest town on an everyday basis, they have inspired her to also take a ride one day all by herself. Now, Vali's secret wish started spreading wings till she decides one day that she would attempt a ride on the bus. So, Vali's secret wish when started spreading wings, then she decided that she would attempt a ride on the bus. But she cannot simply ride in this bus from her village to the nearest town. She cannot simply do that, right? So she has to do something, right? She has to do something different to be able to fulfill her desire of riding in the bus. So what she does, okay, it is a very important question for your exam also. How does Vali fulfill her wish to ride a bus to the nearest town? So you have to write from here. She saves every penny, resisting the temptations to buy peppermints and toys, the ride on the merry-go-round and the village fair. Right? She saves every penny. Okay? She saves every penny, resisting the temptations to buy peppermints and toys, the ride on the merry-go-round and the village fair. So, in order to realize her wish, in order to fulfill her desire, which she has nursed in her mind to take a ride to the nearest town, what she does is, on an everyday basis, she keeps saving every penny, means she keeps saving money little by little, okay, even to the extent of resisting the temptations to buy peppermints and toys. So she resisted her desire to buy toys for her, peppermints for her, the ride on the merry-go-round and the village fair. Okay, so she stifled her desire as a child to ride the merry-go-round and the village fair in the village fair. Why? Because if she spends money on those things, then her money will be spent and her desire to take the bus ride to the nearest town will not be fulfilled. Therefore, she was trying her utmost best, okay, to save the money, okay, on an everyday basis, and sacrificed her other desires like buying peppermints, buying toys, taking a ride round the merry-go-round in the village fair. So she has stifled her all her desires so that she could save money on an everyday basis, to accumulate money, to save money to give for the bus fare, okay, in order to go to the nearest city. Therefore, she has made a lot of sacrifice, right? So one afternoon, when her mother is asleep, Vali slips out of the house, boards the bus and starts relishing her first ever bus ride. So what happened when, after months of uh, small saving, okay, small saving, when she could accumulate the bus fare to the nearest city all by herself, what she did was, she one day slipped out of the house, boarded the bus and started taking a ride in the bus which was bound for the nearest town. On seeing Bali, the conductor is taken aback. The conductor is very much surprised. The conductor is very much surprised to find Vali take a bus ride all by herself. Okay, and the conductor is also taken aback, means the conductor is also surprised by her haughty manners. Haughty means proud manners, proud behavior. Okay, Vali, even though she was 8 years old, but she was more matured than her age. Her talks, her interactions with the elders appeared to be more matured than her age. Therefore, the bus conductor was surprised to find Vali travel all alone and even more surprised by her haughty manners. Then Vali resents being called a child. When the bus conductor addresses her as a child, she resents, she reacts. Okay, she becomes angry. She reacts and reminds everyone on the bus, not only the bus conductor, whoever addresses her as a child, reminds everyone on the bus that she has paid full fare like anyone else. Right? She has paid full fare like anybody else. Therefore, they have no right to call her or address her as a child. Okay, because she is not taking a free ride to the bus. Okay, she has given fare, paid full fare like everyone else in the bus. Now, on the way to town, Vali is delighted to see a young cow running right in the middle of the road in front of the bus. The honking frightens the cow and he galloped even faster. Okay, so on her way to the town, Vali was very much happy, delighted to see a cow running right in the middle of the road. Okay, and this particular and then honking of the bus frightens the cow and it galloped even faster. So this particular scene has delighted Vali, okay, who has taken her first ride in the bus to the nearest town. And on her way back to the village, Vali becomes sad by the sight of the same cow who lies dead by roadside. When Vali was returning from the town to the village, she was very disappointed. She was very much grieved by the sight of the same cow who was lying dead, because some vehicle might have run over might have killed the cow. That is why Vali became very sad to see the cow dead on the road. On her return home, and after she reaches home, she finds her mother awake and is involved in chatting with her aunt. Whenever she is back home after a bus ride to the nearest town, she could see, surprisingly enough, that her mom was not asleep, but she was rather awake, and she is involved in chatting with her aunt. Right? Next, you see, her mother is not able to guess that she has been outside home all the while. And ironically enough, her mother was not able to guess that her daughter Bali, okay, was outside home all the while. Okay, so this is how the story comes to an end. And what do you learn from this story, dear students? What do you learn from this story? We learn from the story that there is a girl, 8-year-old girl Vali, who takes a ride in the bus to the nearest town. And we also learn the fact that as a child she was more matured than her age, and the way she has saved money little by little is something that indicates that she was very sacrificing in nature. She has sacrificed her desire to buy toys, peppermints, to take a ride in the merry-go-round in the village fair. She has sacrificed all these, childish wishes so that she could go on to save her money for the bus ride to the nearest town. So what we learn is that she is very determined as a child. As a child, she was very determined, and she was also sacrificing in nature. So you can prepare a question like, how does Vali manage to save money in order to take a bus ride to the nearest town. So you have to mention all this, that she has sacrificed, what are the things she has sacrificed, okay, in order to save her money, and all that you have to write. Okay, so now let us see uh, what are the questions which are important from this lesson. Okay, so see NCERT text questions. What was Vali's favorite pastime? So Vali's favorite pastime was to stand in front doorway of her house and watch what was happening in the street outside. Right, that was Vali's favorite pastime. Her favorite pastime was to stand in the front doorway of her house and watch what was happening in the street outside. Next question is, what was a source of unending joy for Vali? What was her strongest desire? It is a very important question, dear students. A source of unending joy for Vali was watching the bus that traveled between her village and the nearest town and back each hour. Her strongest desire was to ride the bus, which was filled each time with full of passengers going to the town and returning back to the village. That was her strongest desire. So her strongest desire was to ride the bus, which was filled every time with full of passengers going to the town and returning back to the village. Next, what did Vali find out about the bus journey? How did she find out these details? Vali collected the following details about the bus journey. What were the details? Vali found out that the fare was 30 paisa one way. Okay, one way the fare was 30 paisa. The trip of the town took 45 minutes. Okay, trip to the town took 45 minutes, and each way the fare was 30 paisa. On reaching town, she could return home on the same bus if she could pay another 30 paisa. So these are some of the details that Vali could find before she about the bus journey, right? Number one, she found that the fare was 30 paisa one way. Number two, she found that the trip to the town took 45 minutes. Next, she found that she could return home on the same bus if she could pay another 30 paisa. She found out these details by listening carefully to conversations of her neighbors and people who regularly traveled in the bus. Okay, so if there is a question, how did she find out these details? In that case, you will write, she found out these details by listening carefully to conversations of her neighbors and people who regularly traveled in the bus. Right? Next is, what do you think Vali was planning to do? Vali was planning to take a ride on the bus to the town and back to her village one day. Okay, that is what she was planning to do. Vali was planning to take a ride on the bus to the town and back to her village one day. Okay, so now, why does the conductor call Vali madam? Vali talks like a mature adult person. She refuses to take help from the conductor while climbing the steps of the bus. She behaves as if she was capable of taking care of herself. That is why the conductor calls Vali madam, because she talks like a mature adult person. She refuses to take help from the conductor while climbing the steps of the bus, right? And then she behaves as if she was capable of taking care of herself, right? So that is the answer. Next is, why does Vali stand up on the seat? What does she see now? Vali stands up on the seat because the lower half of the window was covered with a canvas blind. Okay, the lower half of the window was covered with a canvas blind. That is why she was not able to see. So she stood up on the seat. She could see the canal on one side of the road, and behind it the palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. On the other side of the road, she could see a deep ditch behind which were acres and acres of green fields. Right? So, attendance link will be sent to you, dear students. Dear students, please fill this attendance form. This is for 10th A student, and for 10th B I am sending you just now. Just wait, dear students. This is for 10th B and this is for 10th A. So you please give your attendance, dear students, those who are present. Please give your attendance, because now onwards I shall be sending you the attendance link. So please do fill up your attendance details. Okay. Okay, thank you Riddhi, Anusri, Ashwini, Nandini, thank you so much. Okay, okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, now let's see another few important questions, dear students. Like you see here, what does Vali tell the elderly man when he calls her a child? So Vali is annoyed at being called a child and replies that she can take care of herself. She further says that she has paid her 30 paisa like an adult passenger. Okay, so Vali became very much angry when an elderly man calls her a child. And how does she react? She replies that she can take care of herself, and she further says that she has paid her 30 paisa like an adult passenger. So she means to say that she is no longer a child, because she is able to take care of herself and can also pay for the bus fare like any other adult passenger. Next, you see, dear students, why didn't Vali want to make friends with the elderly woman? Okay, why didn't Vali want to make friends with the elderly woman? The elderly woman appeared to be very shabby. Right? The elderly woman appeared to be very shabby. She had very big holes in her earlobes and ugly earrings in them. She could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing, and the betel juice was about to spill over her lips at any moment. That is why Vali did not want to make friends with the elderly woman, because she was looking very shabby, and like she was unhygienic by nature, right? And she was chewing the betel nut, and the betel juice was about to spill over her lips. That is why she developed an instinctive dislike for the elderly woman. Okay. Now, dear students, this is very important question. How did Vali save up money for her first journey? Was it easy for her? So this you prepare for the exam. Vali had thriftily saved. Thriftily means very miserly saved a total of 60 paisa, because one side fare to the town cost her 30 paisa, so two sides will be 60 paisa. So Vali had thriftily saved a total of 60 paisa. She had saved whatever stray coins came her way, resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons, and the like. It wasn't easy for her. She had to carve a strong desire to spend the money at the fair and ride the merry-go-round. Okay, she has sacrificed her desire to spend money at the fair, and she did not go for a ride of the merry-go-round. So this is how she could save money, and thus whatever stray coins she could get, she was able to eventually save money for the bus ride to the nearest town. Okay. Now, this is also important question, dear students. Why didn't she get off the bus at the bus station? Vali did not get off the bus at the bus station because she wanted to return to her village by the same bus. She was not left with adequate money to explore the town. She just had the bus fare to return to her village. That is the reason why she did not get down from the bus station. She did not get down from the bus station because she was not left with adequate money to explore the town. She just had the bus fare to return to her village. That is why she did not get off the bus at the bus station. Okay, thank you, dear students. Those of you who have given attendance, thank you so much. Because now today onwards I shall be taking your attendance, so please be regular in the class, okay, so that you can give your attendance and also come to know about what is going on in the class. Okay, now let's study the next question. Okay, that is, why didn't Vali want to go to the stall and have a drink? What does this tell you about her? So, Vali did not want to go to the stall and have a drink because she was left with just the money to buy a ticket for the journey back home. Right? So, Vali did not want to go to the stall and have a drink because she was left with just the money to buy a ticket for the journey back home. It tells us that Vali is a disciplined and alert girl. Okay, she was a very disciplined and an alert girl. She refused to have the drink even when the conductor offered it as a treat. Okay, so see, she was very much cultured girl also, because she was not interested to take favor from anybody. Okay, so those who are gentle and cultured, they do not usually take favor from others, right? So she refused to have the drink even when the conductor offered it as a treat. She was having the self-respect and did not take any undue favor from anyone unnecessarily. Okay, so that is very important part of her personality. Okay, she was a very disciplined girl, alert girl. She did not take any favor from anybody. Okay, now dear students, this question is very important. How did Vali plan her bus ride? What did she find out about the bus, and how did she save up the fare? Okay, so she planned the bus journey by listening carefully to the conversations between her neighbor and people who regularly use the bus. Right? Next, she asked a few discreet questions here and there, and she found the details. The bus fare to the nearest town was 30 paisa one way. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. On reaching town, she could return to her village in the same bus by paying another 30 paisa. Thus, she planned to catch 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45 and be back home by 2:45. Okay, Wally saved up the fare in this manner. She saved by collecting whatever stray coins came her way. She resisted every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons, and so on. She resolutely stifled a strong desire at the village fair to ride the merry go round. Thus, she ended up saving a total of 60 paisa for a to and fro trip to the town. Okay, so dear students, these are some of the important questions that I have discussed today. You please prepare for your periodic test 3 exam. Okay, so every day I am discussing some of the important questions, and as well as summarizing the lessons which are there in your periodic test 3. So please do go through the textbook first. After you go through the story from the textbook, you come down to the website and prepare from there and set equations as well as some of the extra questions that I have discussed in the live class. Okay, hopefully you have understood what you are supposed to do, right? So okay, so we'll continue, dear students, tomorrow, right? We shall continue tomorrow with some other revision lesson. I am not going to start new lesson now. After the exam gets over, dear students, I shall certainly start your remaining 2-3 lessons, whatever is left. Okay, so please do study seriously. Okay, so let's wind up here, dear students, and I hope you will study systematically. We shall discuss might be some grammar part and writing part once again tomorrow. So thank you so much, dear students. Bye bye, take care, and have a nice time. Okay, I shall be sharing your attendance in the group today. Okay, so I hope you have given your attendance. So every day please be present in the class so that you can give your attendance, okay, on time, right? So dear students, that's it for the day. Take care and have a great day.